Hey guys, I'm not advocating for deception, exploitation, or opportunism that could be associated with the word seduction. I'm speaking with the conscience of the addressee only to make the topic more intriguing, nothing more. In any case, you might find yourself having to use these principles in specific situations in your life, or at least be aware of them, so that if they are applied to you, you don't live in an ideal world. So, what is seduction? Seduction is a form of power, aiming for control, the control of one person over another, or the control of politicians and businesses over the masses and the public. Today, most of what I'm saying will be directed towards males, but the principles I'll discuss can be applied to all these situations. We have the price tag and then the complete seduction process. The first part involves an indirect approach. What do I want from your seduction? I want to influence you, captivate you, steer you in a certain direction for my benefit. But if you feel that I am influencing you, you will likely become uncomfortable. No one likes to feel manipulated or controlled, so you need to act like a lion stalking its prey. What does the lion do? It hides its intentions, it hides itself, and it prepares the environment to bring the prey closer. Then you can relax and go drink from the river without any caution. The same idea applies to hiding your seduction in your behavior and approaching indirectly. Otherwise, you'll raise suspicions. If you show excessive interest from the start, it's likely to be met with suspicion and a sense of danger. You should maintain a neutral relationship from the beginning, and don't let the other party perceive your goal as anything other than friendship, not a romantic interest. This applies in all areas. Don't give the impression that you are scheming to obtain something. In politics, for example, global ambition can be intimidating. But if you act naive and non-threatening, it will make your competitors and enemies feel safe, and you will have a lot of room to maneuver. By the time they realize your true intentions, it will be too late. The second part involves sending conflicting and mixed signals. Seduction works like magic. Many people think that the most powerful weapon in a witch's bag of tricks is beauty or general excellence in any field. But magic based on these resistances is threatened because hundreds of witches can replace it. It also requires the physical presence of the witch to maintain control over people. However, true seduction is not about beauty or excellence, it is just a psychological game that makes the witch appear in the same way as the previous state. And in his absence, he is still mentally present in people's minds. How does this work? It will be difficult. Difficult here means difficult to imagine and understand. Send conflicting signals. Surprise with contradictory messages. Be mixed. Be innocent and cunning at the same time. Be devilish and shy, spontaneous, and sad. All of these at the same time are some of the things that have had a strong impact on the public, not just because it showed their good side. If he did that, people might accuse him of hypocrisy in secret. But he maintained his innocence. He confessed with intent to anger and desire for revenge. What impact did this have on the audience? For example, take the painting of the Mona Lisa. The idea of the presence of these different elements in her smile, what gave her attractiveness is this contrast. It always creates confusion, and confusion amazes and captivates, not around you. This aura is the magnet that deceives people. The third part is to appear as a desirable person, one who makes countries interested in the World Cup. Is it just because of the monetary prize that comes with it? No, I'm not cutting something important about it. Its social value. Where does its social importance come from? From competition? The idea that you have 101 competitors for one prize. The presence of competitors creates additional value alongside the value of the prize itself. If I win, I have won the value of the prize, plus the fact that I triumphed over those 101, it makes me feel special and raises the value of the prize. We are social creatures, and we are heavily influenced by people's tastes and desires, so it's important that you appear as a desirable person, intentionally showing incidents that indicate that you are desirable, or even fabricate them. This will make people compete for you and raise your status. The fourth part is to create something in people. Everyone has a void inside them, a void, a vacuum, and they feel that something is missing, but they bury these thoughts well and cover them with sand. If you know how to dig and bring out the doubts buried inside them to the surface, it will be very easy. Seduce them and control them, make them feel how boring their lives are, and that their friends are less entertaining. They will feel unhappy due to circumstances and themselves. Here, you become the solution. You cover this missing need that you come from the outside, representing change and difference, breaking the routine. I saw a movie a while ago where someone managed to control the heroine by first convincing her that her life was incredibly dull, filled with boredom, and created a feeling of boredom within her. Then they grew up so much that she didn't even see it at first. He appeared to be the opposite of all that he said. His actions were all excitement and thrill. So she saw him as someone who saved her. And it's the same principle. Politicians apply it to nations. If they want to push them to revolt, for example, to control them, they create an atmosphere. The most important thing first is to make them feel angry about their present and how great they used to be in the past, but not anymore. The fifth part is to create temptation. Read people as if they are walking messages on the ground, in their clothes, in their words, in their behavior. All of these are messages. If you look closely, you'll find hidden vulnerabilities beneath the surface. These are their weaknesses. If you use them, you can create perfect temptation tailored precisely to those who don't feel secure about their appearance, their origin, their possessions, their strength, and their masculinity. Try to uncover these points and use them, focus on them, support them, and praise them. You'll almost become their ruler. The sixth part is to keep them in a state of anticipation. We all know the story of Shahryar, who used to kill a new bride every day until Scheherazade came and managed to escape her fate by telling him a story and not finishing it. Not the next day, not the day after that. And so she gained control over the king through anticipation and suspense. People love everything that is mysterious, and that's the key to drawing them into your web. Act in a way that makes them wonder about the latest developments. Do something unexpected from time to time. This will create a sense of spontaneity, just like what happened with the king. As long as you can keep them in the dark, not knowing what will happen next, they will be under your control. But be aware that if too much routine or predictability enters the equation, your plan will fail, and they will either reject it or accept it without tasting its flavor. The seventh part is to isolate the victim. There was once an evil man who used to kidnap children and sell them. How did he do it? He would walk skillfully in the middle of towns, and the children would follow him, enjoying the tune of the flute. They didn't realize how far they had gone from their parents and their home. And once he was sure that he had isolated them, even if they screamed, no one would hear them. That's when the thief would easily kidnap them. Isolating the victim is very important in the seduction process. For example, the target's natural weight might be 10 kilograms, but if you come along, you'll find it's 100 kilograms. Why is that? Like this? Because they have solid safety nets in the chains between them and their family, between them and their friends, between them and their daily routine. All of these add weight and make it difficult for you. The important thing is to make them ripe for the taking. You need to cut these chains first, psychologically distancing the victim from their family, friends, and daily life. Convince them indirectly to their friends, paint their family as boring, self-sufficient, and oppressive. Encourage them to rebel and revolt against them, and once the chains between them and their family are broken, they become isolated and vulnerable, making it easier for you to take control. The ninth part is combining pleasure with pain. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to always act gently because you're afraid of upsetting the other party, so you turn into a nice but monotonous person. Life is like an amusement park. No one wants to go to an amusement park and play all the same games on the ground. The more dangerous the games, the better, and the more fun that comes from them, the greater. That's why moments of pain, fear, and sadness are very important, and you should capitalize on any event that causes them. Don't try to resolve them quickly, let jealousy simmer in the other party. Use it to make them feel the pain, and even if nothing calls for this tension, try to create it yourself so you can remove it. Create problems to solve them afterward. The taste is very sweet, and it adds a lot. Moreover, this approach prevents boredom. And that's it. Goodbye.